All right, welcome back. If you watch my water scene redo videos from last year, and I think there was like 4 of them where I tore all this out, and if you watch the 3-part series I had filmed about maybe a month ago, this should all look familiar with or for you. If you haven't watched those videos, it might behoove you to go watch them and then come back and watch this one. But in the long story short, it don't make a difference. It's just planting trees and redoing stuff. So I found these at Hobby Lobby. They wasn't too expensive, like $8 for a package of however many there are. But I'm going to replace these trees here on both sides of the water and try to get this scene to blend a little better. As I was looking at this the other day, I mentioned to my wife, I probably should have cut this a little bit more straight up, and then it probably would have looked better because it kind of looks like rolling hills versus trees. But I think it'll look okay after all said and done. These might be glued in a little bit because I put glue down before I did these. Normally I don't. Oh, they're all right. My friend Dwight busted my chops and said that they were too uniform, equal spacing between them and stuff like that. Now this is only about, maybe 2 inches. And then some of these medium-sized trees kind of pull up everything. It's really kind of hard to get everything to fit in and not hit your train when it goes by. And I had some problems with it, but, you know, hate to say he was right, but he might have been right. So I'm going to go pluck some of these out. I went with a different style of trees, some with the like some fall colors, and not too bright of red or orange or anything like that. So maybe it's like maybe early September, mid-September, when things are just starting to change. I think it'll look okay. I like the little bit of color differentiation. I think it makes the scene look better. Not every scene in model railroading can be sunny in summertime and everything. And yeah, I definitely don't want to do a winter scene, but a little touch of fall, I think, gives a little bit of character, sets the time frame a little bit, and I think it's going to look okay. So let's take some of these out. Now, if you're wondering where I got this kit from, this is 1/4-inch plywood. Might even be smaller now. It might be 3/32 inch plywood, and I custom built all this stuff out of plywood, and this is just some I-beams, like plastic I-beams I painted black, and I actually put some supports in between the 2 I-beams in the hopes that when I pour the epoxy that you might be able to see a reflection in there at the bottom of the bridge. I doubt it, but you never know. You never know. Oh, come on now. Oh, that must have been glued in. So this is like a grass mat from Walthers. I didn't use my static grass applicator on this part. I got this stuff, I've had it for a while, and I just wanted to use it up, so I just put it up here. You can see a little row of dirt right there. So what I did was I put this grass mat down, glued it down, and then the edge is really pronounced. So I went through with a little bit of dirt that I harvested from my front yard, and I put that dirt down to kind of hide that seam. I think it looks pretty decent. I mean, it looks manicured a little bit, but I mean, I don't think it looks too bad. Ugh. Wow, that was in there. Now, I had a couple of tree branches bending over the other day, and it derailed my train. And that's one reason I'm redoing this and putting these different types of trees in there. And all I do is I take this, it's like a little cobalt ice pick. It was in a tool kit in the electrical section. I think there's like 4 of them. I think it was like maybe $5-6. But basically I'm just stabbing it in there, and then I just plant the tree in that hole. Pretty simple. But if you've never done it before, it might be a little intimidating, but don't let it intimidate you. All this stuff is so simple, a caveman could do it. And I guess I just saw that caveman Geico commercial the other day, and they brought him back. It's kind of funny, but this might look a little better. I may have to end up trimming this off, but we'll see what we can do here. Look at that, I found a hole. It's pretty hard down here. We'll see. I'm thinking about putting some trees down here, just a couple, maybe like right over here. But when I'm modeling, I'm kind of thinking from the crew perspective on the locomotive. I used to be a conductor for NS, and I did it for about 3 years, and I got tired of their BS because I was in the Army for 27 years, and I dealt with enough BS that, it really kind of gets on my nerves and aggravates me. But I didn't like when a tree blocked the view of a signal when we were coming down the line of road. And so I'm hesitant to put, too tall of a tree over here, but I'm still thinking about just a couple, in like this dirt bank. It might look okay. Something like that, or I don't know. We'll see. Leave me a comment and tell me what you think if I should do that. And if enough people, advise that I do, then maybe I'll give it a go and we'll see what it looks like and we'll see what we can do there. Now this tool is actually perfect for these little trees. They're fitting in there nice and snug, and I'm liking it. I ought to get me a high and wide card over here to check my clearances. I think these are plastic. Yeah, they are. They're like a hard plastic. I kind of thought they might be wire there for a minute, but I think they're just a hard plastic. Oh wow, that's hard there. There, how's that looking? Let me look at the camera. Now, if this is my first video that you've watched, you're probably asking, why I haven't, reshaped this or anything yet, because it's looking worse and worse now that I look at it. So I may have to maybe trim it down a little straight, come across here or something like this. But what I normally do is when I build a scene, if I'm iffy about something or I question something, I will just leave it alone for a while, and then you kind of keep looking at it here and there, and over time I decide whether it's a good spot or not, or a good scene or not, or if I need to change anything or not. But I mean, so far I love this scene, but it's a little iffy right there. So maybe after I get these trees in, I'll change my mind, and I might trim this back just a little bit, maybe a little bit more level across the back part of the creek, and then bring this down a little bit more in line with like the trees and try to hide that a little bit more. But we'll see. We'll see. But just imagine what it's going to look like with the epoxy down here and just reflecting. I think it's going to look pretty cool because this gives you the illusion of the sky reflecting off the water. And I got lucky that day when I took a picture of this creek outside of Humboldt, Illinois. And it's just a little creek, and I photoshopped it a little bit, made it look a little bit bigger, and I sized it. I think I got the sizing right, and it gives you a pretty good amount of depth perception. It makes the scene look, pretty deep in my opinion. And this is from the camera to the wall is only about 18 inches, and I like it. I like it a lot. If you think I'm full of it and I shouldn't like it, leave me a comment. Put a couple more trees in. Try to get some over here. I got some other trees. I got a bunch of little like bushes and stuff. And I found these. And yeah, like I just found them walking around. No, I found these in a box of stuff that I bought from a friend of mine. And I think if I tone these down a little bit, I think they might fill in and make it look pretty decent, like some brush or something in there. And I got a whole bunch of these too, like different different shapes and sizes. So hopefully I can fill in a little bit on this outer edge and make it look a little better. I got a whole bunch of this stuff too, you know what I mean? I don't know. Put them someplace and do something with them, I'm sure. But for right now, this is what we got. I won't bore you to death with too much more of this. I'm gonna finish these. Come on, get in there. There. This, with this side here, I'm gonna finish this side up, and then I'll let y'all mosey on to the next video if you stayed with me to this one, or through this one. I'm trying to be more random about it, but I don't know. Oh, I pushed that in way too far. I'm not happy with that. And you know, if you put the hole in the wrong spot, ain't no big deal. All you gotta do is just, you know, replant it someplace else. If you can still find it, there we go. Couldn't find a hole. Gotta put some hair around it. I don't know what that means. I just heard that. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, there we go. All right. I don't think that's looking too bad. I mean, it could look better. But, you know, we had a saying in the Army. Well, it wasn't really a saying. It was just kind of a procedure that we did. So when you first set up a defensive position, you know, you had a hasty, you know, foxhole or something like that, you know, hasty position. So, I mean, the longer you're there, the more you made improvements to it. So that's pretty much what my concept is, or my philosophy is on everything. You know, I do a little bit of work to it, and I will continue to do work to it until I'm happy, or, you know, it's done, you know, to my satisfaction. But sometimes I'm never satisfied. But we shall see. So these are the two shades of trees I'm going to start stuffing in there. And all they are these. It's like a twisted wire. And I think they look pretty good. I don't think they look too bad at all. And this was 60 trees for $8. So I spent $16 on 120 trees. And I know I could make them for, you know, pennies, but my time is valuable. And I have a huge layout. I got a lot of work to do. And, you know, it's never done. I mean, never done. This is the only scenery I have finished. And this is about, 18 feet. And then you got about another 6-foot section right there. Just a tad bit of scenery over there, and a temporary bridge. I'll avoid the light for you. A little bit of stuff over here. This part over here is only like 50%, if even that. I mean, you see there ain't no trees on the hill. There ain't no trees. There aren't any trees on the hill. And, you know, I got some rocks back there, and you got Mrs. Smith's house. And if you've watched my videos before, you know Mrs. Smith and and Conductor Jones, they got a little something going on because he likes to put his caboose back here. And then this town here is, this is Cartridge. And it's named so because in the corner there is an ammunition factory. And then, you know, I got other buildings and whatnot that are going to go here. So the scenery is not complete because I need to do the buildings. And, you know, I always get sidetracked doing something else or something cool or something I think is cool. And I'll show you something I think is cool right now. So at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, now called Fort Liberty, we had this thing called Iron Mike. And it was a big giant bronze statue. And I always thought that was the coolest thing. We used to do re-enlistment ceremonies there. And now Iron Mike is at the Airborne Special Operations Museum in beautiful downtown Fayetteville. And this is my ode to Iron Mike. And all it is a 2-inch green army man that I made the helmet look more American. I trimmed down the weapon a little bit. I mixed up a paint solution or a paint color, like a palette. And so I made them look bronze. And I really like it. I think that's pretty damn cool. And if you don't like it, stop watching right now. But no, I'm just joking. But I'm happy with that. And if you notice the base, that's an old Bachman kit or a Lifelike or a Tyco or something that had, it was like a veterans memorial like for a park. And I used that concrete base, you know, specifically for Iron Mike there, and put a flag behind them. I think that's a Woodland Scenics flag, and there's a little light on there. I just need to wire it in. I think it'd be kind of cool. It makes for some good night photos. You got Black Hawk Ironworks back there, and once again, it's just all mocked up. And but I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. I just probably make that German brewery building there look a little more American. And you know, I got these silos here. That's for the coal storage, and that's basically the powerhouse, and you know, stuff like that. So I mean, I got more work to do than I can even imagine. And I had originally wanted to have an open house in May for the Spencer Model Railroad Show. But when I really did the numbers and started looking at how much money it was going to cost, I mean, I'm like $2,000 just in materials, let alone all the work that I'd have to do to just get a main line up, just to run a main line, just to have some trains running for people coming over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to postpone that for 1 year, so you can fully expect a open house in the May of 2025 with 2 separate main lines and about 11 miles or 11 scale miles of track, and a whole lot more scenery and a whole lot more cool stuff. So just keep coming back and checking in with me and seeing what I'm doing. And you know, I'm going to go ahead and cut this off here. It's about 16, 17 minutes. I think you got the idea of how I can plant trees, or how you can plant trees and blend it into your scenery a little bit. This backdrop is pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with that. If you got any questions or comments, you know, leave them down below. Like, subscribe, share the video, tell a friend. Come back here in a couple of days and see what I do next. Thank you for watching. All right, so what I've done since the beginning of the video, because it's been about 5 or 6 days since I shot the 2 of them. This area over here is a park, and I kind of reinstalled some trees, and I put in some little shrubs and these little like pink and red flowered trees. Let me see if I can get you over here and see this. And those are supposed to be decorative, and you know, they are laid out in a uniform manner because that's the way they're supposed to be, because it is a park. Put a couple of little trees over there by the depot, and that's all I've done on this side. These trees here look decent, or decent enough. I think they blend with the background and kind of make it look deeper than what it is. But this is what you came here for. This scene is 99% complete. The only thing left to do is pour the water, and I'm going to wait for it to get warmer out. And I don't want to have any issues like I did before, which was, I guess the resin didn't cure properly or something like that, and it had bubbles all in it. And if you go back to, let's see, last spring, so probably about a year ago or 10 months ago, it'll say water scene redo or something like that. And I had a series of videos of what it looked like before and what it looks like, you know, when I tore it all out and after I tore it out and I redid everything. But I'm really happy with this. The only thing I'm not happy with is the way I cut the backdrop there and there. But like I said before, and I've said this probably every time, that I'm gonna leave it for a while and you know, just kind of let it grow on me. And if it doesn't grow on me, then I'll get rid of it. I'll pan over this way. I put some trees down for about 3 feet. All the way to the left there, you see the red caboose, which is going to be a yard office over there. I think it looks pretty good. I made a space for the signal right here, and I think I'm going to leave that there. That's going to be a permanent signal unless I buy these 3D printed Chesapeake and Ohio signal bridges, and I may mount one on a signal bridge, and so it's a little bit higher. I took some photographs from the far right, and if you was the crew on the locomotive coming around the curve, you can still see it in lieu of the trees that are there. So it might be twisted just a little bit or turned just a little bit for better visibility for the crew. And when I say the crew, I mean the guy walking around with this controller, controlling the train, can stand over here by cartridge and be able to see the signal as it's lit up. I think it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with everything. Dwight has blessed off on it. And if you haven't watched any of my other videos before, Dwight's like my best friend. And Dwight doesn't hold any punches. He really enjoys busting my chops, I think. And so I'm supposed to give him some sort of congratulations or some sort of positive, like talking points, for this one. But I told him no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not gonna admit that you are right about anything. So just appreciate what I said about you in my last video, and we'll leave it at that. And we had a good laugh. But I think he called me asshole or something after that. But it doesn't matter, So I'm pretty happy with everything. In the very near future, there'll be some run-by videos shot over here. I think it looks good from this angle as well, coming across the diamond. I think it blends well. Sorry if it's shaking a little bit. And more to come. So if you like this video, if you like my other videos, subscribe if you haven't done so. I think I'm at 1,051 or 1,052. I appreciate all of you. Go check out another video. There's a whole bunch in this series about this scene that I've been working on. I think this is the 4th one and the final one until I pour the epoxy, and that should be probably here in another couple of months. I've got some projects in the works. I got a new Virginian and Ohio caboose I just started. I got a Virginian and Ohio Alco PA that I'm working on. I've been talking to Brad McClellan about appropriate road numbers and such. I got a Midland Road caboose I'm working on, Allegheny Midland, if you didn't know. And what else? I got something else. Oh, I got a pre-Virginian and Ohio blue caboose. So, did I say that right? It's a red caboose before they went to the blue caboose. And I got that in the works as well. I painted both of them last night. I got the PA going to get shot, a little bit of paint tonight, and a couple other things. Those are going to be a totally different video. And everything is right now prepping up for the Model Railroad Show at Spencer, North Carolina, at the North Carolina Transportation Museum on May 18th and 19th. And I hope to have some good models or some good looking models on display. Also got a new acquisition the other day. It's an MRC / Lima Alco C420 painted nickel plate. And I got another one of those that I'm looking at buying and going to make it an Allegheny Midland. And I hope to have those on display as well. So I got a lot of stuff, a lot of future content that you may enjoy. March Madness has taken up a lot of my time. I've been watching a lot of basketball, but all we have is like another weekend to worry about that, and then it'll be back to normal. So like, subscribe, leave a comment. Share a video, go watch another video, come back here in a few days and see what I do next. Thank you for watching.